I am your host, Kristina Bloom, and I am here with my co-host, Glenn Boddice. And I know that since I brought the show into All Access Network Television, that many of you may not be familiar with Glenn, and he's so amazing that I just need to share him with the world. So I'm just going to do a little introduction here. Glenn is a spiritual medium, a metaphysical teacher, paranormal investigator, author, musician, and producer, and co-host of ParaMystic podcast. And he has his own show, From Beyond, that I co-host on occasionally. And in addition to all that, he is a dear friend of mine and my partner in crime. And he's a single dad, so he's got a lot going on in his life. Two beautiful daughters who are just amazing people in their own right. I was blessed to meet them. And welcome, Glenn.
Hi there, Kristina. Thank you for having me on. And how can I live up to that amazing introduction? Honestly, are you describing me, really?
Yeah, I'm describing you, really. Really, I am. I did notice you're blushing a little, though, so maybe just a little.
Bless your heart. That's so kind and beautiful.
How have you been? How have you been? What have you been up to?
I've been really good, thank you. Had lots of twists and changes in my life around work and the way that I pursue work and all of that. I won't bore your listeners and viewers with the details, but something that I've done over the weekend, I've been at a paranormal event at Shepton Mallet Prison in Somerset, and I was there with the events team, and we had an amazing event. Lots of people there, very full. I think there was 50 guests that were in attendance.
Wow.
And then there was us in the team. There's 10 of us in the team, and it's such a big location that it warrants that, because you divide up the locations, the areas within that prison. And we got some fascinating encounters over the weekend. There was interactions from spirit in every single location within that venue. One of the highlights, personally to me, was we were doing a piece to a few of the guests, because like I say, the guests were split up into groups, and we were in the mortuary, the prison's mortuary, in the room adjoining next to it, and there's a doorway where you walk through into the mortuary from this particular room, and we're talking away, we're delivering to the guests and introducing and, you know, getting everybody hyped up and prepared. And out of the corner of my eye, I kept seeing like shadow figures, movement, moving across this doorway, because there's no door there. It's just an open like door frame into the mortuary. And it got to such a point where you just could not ignore it any longer. And so, you know, we put it out there to everybody. Does anybody else see that? Of course, people, yeah, I've been seeing that while you've been talking. So we put our focus on that area. And when we did, we put some apparatus down on the floor that detects vibration, temperature changes, and all that sort of thing. And then as we was looking and calling out, you could see this fog, this mist manifesting, building up, coming to us and then stepping back, to us and stepping back. And it was so incredible. Two of us were mediums there that were seeing it, but also the guests were seeing this as well. And they, they're not known mediums or sensitives in that respect. So that was amazing evidence. But I noticed that I was seeing like a white apron style, like a medical apron style thing. I was seeing gentlemen's trousers underneath that and shoes. And then we managed to get a direct connection with that male energy there and hear some of his story, which was incredible. So that was
Wow.
my highlight to actually
That
see
sounds
spirits
amazing.
building up in that way. It was fascinating. Yeah, it really was
Wow.
good. And some of the other team members managed to capture audibles, direct voice phenomena, EVP, electronic voice phenomena, have it recorded as well. And again, the guests were hearing it in real time as it was happening. So that was amazing evidence. And we've been there a few times, but this time the energy there felt ready to rock and roll, whereas other times it has been there, but you had to ramp it up and build it up. But it was just there from the get go. So it was an amazing event.
Wow. That does sound amazing. One of the places we didn't get to.
Well, we was near it,
We
wasn't we? Yeah, but
were. Yeah, we
not
were near
quite
it.
there. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. So what else you got going on? I know you're always so busy. It's like I know you take private clients. Um,
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. So,
yeah.
as you said, I'm a spiritual medium, and as you know yourself, there's many doorways that segue from that, such as
Hmm.
one-to-one readings that you work with clients. I'm blessed that I work with the technology, so I can work with anybody from all over the globe and set bookings. So I've been doing those. I've been doing forecast readings where these are recorded and then sent to clients outlining the next 6 or 12 months of their life. Um, what else have I been doing? Again, planning the lessons that I teach online regarding spiritual development. And so I like to plan a week ahead. So I'm one step ahead in that respect. And then obviously deliver the class. So I've been doing that. Also, I run a trance mediumship class where it takes people that have an understanding of mediumship to the next level where they allow spirit to blend, yourself, and
Right.
communicate through them. So I prepare that class and do that. What else I've been doing? Ooh, so much to mention, really. One of the big things, I suppose. Well, I'll leave that till last.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been bringing forward the radio shows. As you know yourself,
Right.
Spirit give you the inclination what to talk about on your next show, and so I like to have little bullet points at the side of me to cue me, so I'm not waffling, nonsense. So
Yeah.
we've been producing the
Yeah.
radio shows there. Had a beautiful guest on the other week.
Oh, I saw
Um,
that episode. It was excellent. And I
Lovely
forgot to
guy.
mention your radio show. You have your own show, which is From Beyond with Glenn Boddice, which is
That's right.
amazing. Yeah.
But you are also a co-host on that show with me once a month, and
Yeah.
I look forward to it every single month because we can talk about anything till the cows come home, can't we?
Yes,
And
yes, we can.
we'll either put people to sleep or inspire them. Either way, we've done our service to the
Yeah.
world in
Right,
those
right.
episodes.
All I
But
need
yeah,
to know is that your mom likes it. That's all I need to know. It's
she
all good.
loves it. Yeah, yeah. She said it helps her to go to sleep.
Yeah,
So I don't
yeah.
know if
Isn't
that's a
that
good
nice?
thing or a bad thing.
Well, it just means we
But
both have calm, soothing voices, right? So
we do indeed.
we do.
So I've been doing that. What else have I been doing? Oh yes, my third book.
Yes, tell us.
It's actually I've decided. I've made this point. Come to this conclusion out of need, really, because of time. It was going to be in all formats, but because of time restraints now, and they're getting smaller and smaller and smaller, The audio book is fully produced and ready to rock and roll. So it's going to be
Ooh.
put out there as an audio book. I believe it's over 5 and something hours in content. So it's a long listen, insightful listen. And actually, the book is called, the audio book, In Good Spirits. And so this book is about paranormal investigations, how to connect with spirit, some of my stories and adventures in the book. There's some help there as well for the listeners that are maybe curious and wanting to have an encounter. There's some guidance there to help them maybe facilitate that. And so there's tips for investigators that currently go out there. There's guidance for people who are just curious. And then, like I say, there's some of my own personal encounters, both in the home, on location, and on events there. So it's quite a heavy, I would say heavy read, but it's an audio book. So it's
Right,
going to be an intensive listen. But the beauty of it, audio books, is you can pause and it remembers where you've been.
right.
So yeah, it's not yet out yet,
I was
but
just
I
going to
am.
say, where do I get a copy? Because I drive for hours every
Oh,
weekend.
yeah. Well, I hope my tones don't put you to sleep at the wheel.
I hope not too. That would not be a good thing.
So, when it is available, it will be available on my website, which is www.glenboddicespiritualmedium.com. And so, yeah, be under, I think it's going to be under the shop heading there.
Okay.
So, when it is available, I will share it out everywhere to every man, child, and beast.
Yes,
Make them
standing
aware
on
of
the
it.
rooftop, screaming it
Yeah.
out. Yes,
Ahoy there,
absolutely.
paper boy. Buy my book. I don't know why I've turned Cornish all of a sudden.
That is interesting, but something
Yeah.
moved through you. That's the way that works. Um, Yeah, I am excited. I am excited about that one. I can't wait to listen to it. And I don't
Thank
typically
you.
listen to audiobooks, mostly because I don't think about it until I'm already driving, and then I don't want to pull over to pull it up off of, Spotify or phone
Yeah.
memory or whatever. But yeah, I can't wait. I'm excited
Oh,
about that.
thank you. Thank you.
So cool.
And I've got to mention this. Of course, I
Yeah.
have. One of the other things that have been keeping me busy is our TV show, Into the
Yes.
Void, that
Into
we
the void.
that
Yes.
yes, two mediums, yourself from the USA, myself from the UK,
Yes.
and it sees us going on adventures around the UK where we're picking up on energies of either the land, the ley lines, the location, any spirits that are in visitation or reside there, and there's also the Fae community, gnome community, portals. I
ETs.
don't. I was going to say wormholes, and in many respects, I'm not far off the mark because on
You're
one
not.
episode
Yeah.
we did experience something quite bizarre. But so
Yeah.
I've been working on that behind the scenes, producing it and putting it all together, and I can finally sleep at night. But I'm at that stage because I've watched it so many times working on it. I'm giving it a rest for a bit, and then I'm going to have a marathon, get some popcorn out, and binge watch the
Binge
entire
watch the entire
episode.
season. Yeah. Yeah, that'll
Yes.
be awesome. Yeah, we don't know where it's going to be yet. We're still working on where we're going to have it released, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, that was an adventure of a lifetime for me. It really was. It was like if you're going to go to a country you've never been to before and you have the opportunity to have a private guide for more than a week, that is the best way to do it. Have a local guide. And we worked a lot. This was people kept thinking I was on vacation and I'm like, it's not a vacation, but I still get to see some really incredible countryside, some really incredible seaside. The footage that we got was amazing. And yeah, it was wow. Thank you. Thank you for that. That
Well,
is not
thank you.
something I would have tried to do on my own, just because I wouldn't have the technical know-how to do it on my own. Yeah.
It was an incredible adventure, and I get flashbacks now and again from it. I say flashbacks because we were so focused on the task at hand.
Hmm.
We had all the location lists, we had the timings for the pieces, the scenes that we need. And so both of us, we were like, right, we're doing
Tunnel
this,
vision.
we've got blah,
Yes.
blah, blah. And we was working, I would
Yeah.
say, if not more than 14 hours a day.
Yes.
And what
And
I'm still pinching myself about is that we had, was it 6 days? And we recorded 11 episodes
yes.
in 6 days.
Plus, we did podcasting in the evening.
We did, yes, two
So,
podcasts.
yeah, we did a couple of podcasts while we were out roaming around the countryside filming a TV show. So, yeah, we were definitely working. I came when I got home. I literally could not function for 3 days. I was just like on the couch.
Yeah,
I was staring at the TV sometimes, but I couldn't tell you what I was watching. I have no idea what I was watching. I was just, yeah,
zoned out.
it was a 3 day recovery period for me when I got home from that. And it's probably was longer than that, but I was completely non-functional for about 3 days.
Bless your heart. Yeah, so it
Yeah,
took a lot out of you. Well, that traveling
yeah.
alone, I mean, how many hours traveling from the UK to right back at your doorstep?
That was probably about 12 hours. On the way there, it was about 22 hours.
Oh,
Yeah,
ouchie.
yeah.
Ouch.
On the way back, I only had two flights. So I only had to go, Manchester to London, London to Chicago. And then my friend picked me up in Chicago. And I was just a zombie sitting in her car going, "Thank you for picking me up at the airport." I was just, I was just a zombie in the car, but she was so kind and so accommodating to pick me up and drive me home, which is 2 hours away from where she lives.
Wow.
And then, drop me off, have some dinner, and then drive home again. And I thank you, Deidre, because she was the one who picked me. She volunteered to pick me up at the airport and bring me home. And um, but yeah, the next 3 days, I just kind of sat there blinking, kind of.
Where's my dinner? Clicking your fingers.
Like I'm just blinking, like completely a zombie. But it was such an amazing adventure. And initially, I didn't remember most of it because it was so much
So
so
focused,
quickly.
weren't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
my it took my brain some time to really process a lot of it. And now even because I have written the descriptions for the show, so I've gone back
You
and
have
watched
indeed.
all of them.
Excellent.
I was looking, going, I don't remember that. I don't remember doing that. I don't remember saying that. Like, but I can see it's me on the screen. So yeah, it was believe me, if you
What?
want to get stuff done, this is a guy because he just gets it done
Yeah, I did apologize to you several
several
times
times.
for cracking the whip because once I've got a project, a task in hand,
Yeah.
that's it. I'm dialed in. I'm there 120%, and to the annoyance of everybody around me.
I was
And
not
it's like,
annoyed. I was grateful because I don't
oh,
have
bless
that
you.
level of focus. So I was grateful that you were literally driving the bus. Like,
Oh, bless you.
yeah, because he got us where we needed to be when we needed to be there. I was even on time a couple of mornings.
You did well, although I did have to call you on a couple of occasions,
Yeah,
and
yeah, a
you was
couple of
like,
times.
yeah, I'm just walking down the stairs.
Uh-huh.
I
It's
was
like,
still asleep.
yep, exactly. And there are no coffee stops with this guy. You just got to pull it in.
Oh no, no toilet stops. You just got to cook it. You got to wait. You got to bake it till we've done the day.
Oh my God, you're making my eyes water here. Oh.
What would you say with that? I mean, I'm the same when I've watched bits back.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember saying that. I don't remember this. I'm a firm believer that we were brought together on this project for a reason,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
also that some of the information obviously was connecting in with spirit, but I feel we was being pushed beyond, our limitations to
Right.
deliver this information out there.
I would agree. I would agree. It was really an adventure. And I do remember there was one time when, even though I set my space I picked up an attachment from a hotel, even though every
Oh,
time I go
yeah.
into a room, I clear the room, I set the space, I say what I want in there, and somehow maybe walking down the hall, I don't know. I don't know how it happened, but we actually had to stop filming so that you could remove an attachment from me because I was non-functional with it.
I remember that because
Yeah,
anybody knows Kristina, she's not quiet at all. She's very
no.
chitty chatty. She's a good laugh, always has commentary.
Yeah,
And she was just so quiet. And I thought, well, yes, we're both tired, but not to the degree where we're not speaking.
right.
Um, and also, like, just random tasks like opening a van door was like, where's the handle? And things
Right.
like
It's
that.
like it wasn't me in there,
It was weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, it
But
was
thank
weird.
you for doing that because that was really bizarre.
All in a day's work, Gav. No problem at
Yes,
all.
all in a day's week.
But yeah, loved it.
Yeah, that was again an adventure of a lifetime for me. So thank you for that.
No problem. And whoever's watching this or listening to it, if you know of a beautiful home that likes paranormal, spiritual type shows that would like to showcase our show on your platform, or shall we say channel, then please do
Yes,
get in contact with either Kristina or myself
that's
because we'd
right.
love to. What's the expression you use over there? Talk turkey with you.
Yes, talk turkey.
Yeah.
I don't really understand that phrase, but it's okay. I don't have to. Um, yeah, so lots of stuff going on in your world. You have so much stuff going on. And I want to talk about your music.
Okay. Yeah.
I want to make sure I get this right. Is it love something amore? Amore. See, I'm really bad with remembering stuff like
Oh,
that.
yes. One of my albums
Chance
is
amore.
Chance Amore.
Yes.
And the conception of this, it was done many years ago. Let me see, probably done. The parts were recorded anyway. I'm looking back to probably 2010.
Really?
And
Wow.
yes, and it was when I owned my own recording studio back then. And it was the sessions that I did about 2 a.m., 3 a.m. when I couldn't sleep. I'd go down there and I felt this emergence of these descants, harmonies, vocal toning, percussive vocal tones. There was some percussion that was channeled as well, like shamanic drumming and things like that, but that was used. And it was done all in segments. Again, the early hours of the morning there, and it was so bizarre. I didn't judge it. I just was there. I recorded one part, and the next minute I heard a harmony pop in my head. That channeled through, recorded that, and it kind of flowed from there. So each track on the album, you're probably looking about 30 or 40 different vocal recordings there.
Wow.
And so it was recorded all that time ago, and it kind of sat on the shelf or in a hard drive for many years because it was so bizarre to anything I've ever worked on before. I didn't know how to promote it, who would like it. And so I kind of just trusted the process. Well, it needed to come through. I feel better for releasing that out of my system,
Right. Well, exactly.
but
Yeah.
I'll come back to that at a later date. And I didn't for 1 minute think it would be probably how many years ago now? Probably about 10 years after. Well, is it 10 years? Yeah, probably about 10 years after recording that I'd think, oh, actually, the spiritual community would appreciate this because it is very healing. There's lots of healing tones and frequencies, heightening your vibration there. And then I set about producing it for the first time ever. And
Wow.
that was an experience in itself, I'll tell you, because obviously, with being sensitive, being a medium, and having to hear all of these frequencies isolated on their own and then mixing them, putting them together in a composition, I could only work on it for, I would say, around an hour at the most because I'd be there working on it and and it would knock me out. So I
Oh,
had to give myself a good year or so chipping away at it in order to produce and master it because of the power
Wow.
interwoven within it. So it was quite a lengthy process, but hopefully the listeners, the my clients, my students are enjoying it, and they're getting something out of that.
I can tell you, I brought that up because
Okay.
I have it on my phone and I
Wow.
still listen to it like a lot because it transports me. It
Oh wow.
transports
Thank
my
you.
spirit to amazing places. It is um it actually I don't I'm struggling with words. I know what I want to say. I know what I want to say, but I'm struggling with the words because it literally transforms my spirit. It raises my frequency. And obviously, like I said, I drive a lot, but I do not listen to that in the car because I don't know, the car might just float off into space. But
Yeah.
it's one of those things that I use it for meditation when I really just want to get out of my head far enough where I'm not trying to think through my meditation. And it does that.
Yeah. Oh
It
wow.
transports me. And I bring it up because I know it's on your website. I know that
It
you
is. Yeah.
occasionally still post it on social media.
I do.
Um,
Yeah.
it is an amazing project that you put out there, and
Thank you.
it's just like you said, you're working on it, and you're just like, you know, I literally leave my
Yeah.
body with it. It is unbelievable. The heal. It's not just healing tones. I mean, I think it's healing on multiple levels. It's
Well, as I say, it was
yeah,
channeled directly at 3 a.m. in the morning, and
yeah,
you probably agree that there's various cultures that channeled that through. And so you can almost hear like a Maori culture coming through, an African
right.
culture, even an alternative dimension culture. It's there's the monastic, like monks and things like
I was
that.
going to say like Gregorian chants
It's got that
that are in
vibe.
there
It's a
too. Yeah,
combination, but
it
it
is.
doesn't sort of cancel out the other culture. It kind of embraces everything as oneness. And I think
Right.
that's one of the gifts of that album. I feel the divine oneness of all these separate cultures coming together.
Absolutely. Absolutely. On planet and off. It
Yes,
is.
definitely. Yeah.
So, I mean, I have so many people tell me I can't meditate. Try this. Like, literally go to his website, download that album, and try it because it has the ability to transport you. It's an amazing piece.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I mean, I'm just saying what's true for me, I mean, it's like I'm not trying to flatter even. I'm just saying this is what it does for me. And you are such a clear channel that those things can come through you, and we've done quite a few now different channeling things together,
We
different
have, yeah.
channeling events, shows, lives online. We've done, quite a few channeling things together. And I am always amazed at how clear the communicators channel through you. Like you are just able to move yourself out of the way and let it come through. And that's not something everybody
Thank
can
you.
do. So
Yeah.
that's
I,
amazing.
I think it helps with just having one brain cell
Yeah, but you share
to,
it with
you just
me, and then
move
that would
it. Yeah. Because probably like yourself, I don't remember a lot of what happens. And I would say trust is a big factor in the work that both yourself and I do. And
absolutely.
I've just reached a point where I just like, release, okay, what do you want people to know? And
Yeah,
just relax into that and let it
just
come through.
exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. It's funny when you say you have one brain cell because if you're sharing it with me, you only actually have about a half a
Of
brain cell.
half then. Yeah.
That is the thing. Like we have a shared brain cell, and it's amazing how we just connect and then bounce off of each other in
In
so
fact,
many ways. Yeah,
we did that on the show. We was I think it was Avebury Stone Circle, and we was chatting away, and the next minute we both drew a breath to say the next piece, and we said the exact same thing at the same time, and we was like,
Yes.
"Whoa, how weird!"
How weird was that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing. In fact, I just had another question for you, and now
Okay.
it's out of my mind. Where did it go? Let's see. Bring it back. Bring it
Well,
back.
it's not in my half of the brain cell.
Oh, it's all
Can't
jumbled
help
up
you
in
there.
my half of the brain cell somewhere. Uh, so tell me about the other album, which I still need to go and download, but you did a percussion album, yes?
I did, yeah. This is called Hypnotic Drum Healing. This is my
Oh,
latest album.
yeah.
And I would describe this as a combination of, without being offensive to any Native American Indians, I would call it a shamanic drumming. And it's also a combination of that and percussion from around the world. And each one of the tracks on the album, I would sort of term it, if you will, as a sound healing therapy treatment. And they last
Okay.
around 16 to 20 minutes, about the sort of length of a meditation. And this all came about basically, as you know, I'm a drummer, producer, percussionist. And I was getting this idea percolating in the back of my mind. And I thought, right, I've got X amount of time. Why don't I set a time that day to record all the elements? And so I did. And I pushed on. You know what I'm like. I cracked the whip, I pushed on, recorded all the elements, not knowing where this album was going to go, how the parts were going to be played, just being that channel for the energy to express itself through drumming. And that's what happened. And you'd laid down one track, and then this other idea would filter through you. Quick, let's get it recorded down. And then it kind of built up, built up. And then from that moment on, it was I would say, it was a case of actually orchestrating these parts, making them more palatable, making them fit, and building this, shall we call it, a sonic picture through all of these elements,
Okay.
and which takes you on a journey, an inward journey, self-discovery. A lot of my clients and students find this very healing, very relaxing. Some of them use it to prepare their vibration, to extend their sensitivity before they work with spirit or their higher self. They find it the perfect tool to do that. And some of them, it even slows down their breathing with the tempo of the drumming, and
Mhm.
it enhances the clarity and the healing that they need to experience. So, again, it was a long process, similar to the first album, because of the high tones, the vibrations, the frequencies woven into this album, this percussive album. And I like to use a term, the brown note. What I
Okay.
mean by that, there's a certain drumming that I do, or certain drum that I use. And if you leave it to down tune, it's that low and deep. You nearly soil yourself.
Oh my goodness.
You nearly let go of all of your functions.
I I knew
You're,
that's where you were going with this.
you're so relaxed. So I lovingly called that the brown note
Okay.
experience. Okay, so that's in there. And like the
That may
first,
not be the selling point you think it is.
well, I don't know if you're a
It
bit
could
backed
be.
up and you need to clear
Well,
yourself
there
out,
is
then
that.
maybe you don't like suppositories. This is the job for you. So, yeah.
Oh my.
Anyway, like the first album, in producing this, I was finding the same thing with the frequencies, the tones. I could only sit producing it for an hour because I'd be like, it'd be knocking me out. So
Transporting. Yeah.
again, it took me a good year or so to go from composition to fully mixed and mastered and getting it out there. But it was worth it, I find.
Yes, that one is definitely getting downloaded onto my phone as well. Maybe also on my laptop and my desktop. I don't know. We might need it everywhere.
Oh,
Um,
bless you.
but you are just so multi-talented. And the part that we left out is that Glenn is actually a drummer in a rock and roll band.
I am indeed. Yeah. I do a
So
bit of singing as well on the side.
I love it. I love, and he does have a beautiful voice when you're singing. Well, your talking voice is beautiful, but so is your singing
Oh,
voice.
thank you.
And I don't know about the rest of you, but I cannot figure out where do you fit all this in? I mean, like, do you clone yourself? Do you have some time stretcher somewhere that the rest of us don't? How do you do this?
I don't know. I just think I'm organized really, and I see slots. I have the electronic calendars, as most people do, and I put the main things in there, and then I look at that and I think, oh, got a couple of hours there spare. Oh, I could do that project. I could do this element in that project there. So I chip away at it. And then I might
Okay.
think later on in that week, oh, I could work on this video production. I could complete that and tick that off the list. And so I just chip away at things where some people may get anxious and think, I need that done by tomorrow. I think, well, if I chip away at things, I can do everything and then
Yes.
release it when it's ready to be birthed. And so that's how I get through all these facets. Although, as I was saying, the third book, I've had to sort of put my hands up and say, well, there's not enough time in the day for me to complete that as a physical book. So that's why I made that executive decision, if you will, for it to be an audio book, because that is fully produced and ready to rock and roll.
Right.
So some things you have to sort of reel yourself in and say, hang on a minute, are you
Time to
over,
rethink.
yeah,
Yeah.
stretching yourself a little bit too much? But yeah,
Wow.
that's how I do it. Just one day at a time, chip away, and you eventually get there.
That's a really good way to go about it because I think you're right. A lot of people get stuck on deadlines,
Yeah,
and this has to be done by this time. And some things are like that, granted, but not everything. And when you're talking about creative products, you can do that when it's your own creative project and you're not answering to somebody else.
yeah,
So
that's right. Yeah,
so you get to make the executive decisions because you are the CEO, you're the producer, you're the artist, you're the, you know,
one man
so
band.
you're a one-man band.
I
Um,
did. I did think about firing myself on a couple of occasions, but then I thought, hang on a minute, who's going to do the work?
I still consider firing myself on occasion. Like,
Excuse me.
yeah, definitely, no problem. But like, sometimes like when I'm having those days, like when I got back from England and I just couldn't even function for 3 days, I'm like, man, if I was paying me, I'd be fired
Or off sick.
or off sick. Yeah, something going on there. But you, I just want to tell you are, first of all, one of the most amazing friends and one of the most amazing people I've ever
Oh,
met. You are just so
you'll have me
genuine.
gushing if you carry on at this rate.
But you're just a really genuine person. And I think that's what makes it so easy to connect with you and why so many other people feel like it's easy to connect with you because you don't put on false fronts. You don't put on pretenses. You're like, this is me, here I am, take it or leave it. And I think that that's what draws so many people to you, but it also draws so many spirits to you because you're
Mm.
just you're just open and you're not trying to. I mean, even when we were recording the show, you were just walking around like some regular guy, not like some hot shot celebrity like some of the people that we could probably think of right away. You're just, okay, I'm here. Anyone have anything they want to talk about? I'm listening. It's like you're the therapist for the spirit world or something. You're just right there. And
Tell me about your mother.
tell Oh dear Lord, we're slipping into Freud.
Oh, bless your heart. Thank you so much for that. You'll get me blushing at this rate, blushing and gushing all at the
See?
same time.
Yeah, we are
Keep it
blushing a
clean,
little bit,
people.
but
Keep it clean. Take your mind out the gutter when I say those things. But no, I think, we've all been there at parts of our life where we've people pleased and we've tried to accommodate various people in our lives. And, you dilute your energy. You make yourself feel small and insignificant. And we've all been there. So I
yes.
think through the trials and tribulations through my life, I came to the conclusion, who can you be? You can only be you. you
Right.
can't be anybody else. If people will either like it or they won't. So all you can do is just be the best version of you can, as you can, with non-arrogance, no ego. Keep yourself grounded, keep yourself relevant, and just be humble and kind. You don't know what people are going through. The people that you meet on a daily basis, they may look okay on the outside, but on the inside, they may be crying or dying inside. So,
Yeah.
just keep yourself humble and respect people if they're in the physical body, or if they're in the spirit realm, that
Right.
they too also, as you said, need that help.
Hmm.
They need somebody to listen, so that they can figure out why they are where they are. And, 9 times out of 10, they actually heal themselves by speaking up and having that conversation where people are listening. That's all
Right.
they want a lot of the time, as you know yourself. Just want that listening ear, that respect there. And with having that, they can transcend onto pastures new if they choose to do so.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And you're a master at that because you don't try to be a master at it. You're like, I'm Glenn. That's,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like, here I am. I'm Glenn. If you need to talk, I've got a listening ear. It's good. And I love that approach because again, there are a lot of people who don't have that approach. And, there are so many of us who are drawn to get our messages out into the world. And some people really push and push and push on that. And, maybe they hit the spotlight for a while, but
hmm
their message is only this big. Okay, well, your message is out. Now what? And then they just kind of
run out of
run it through
steam.
the mill and run out of
Yeah,
steam. And with you, I don't feel like it's your message. You know what I mean? I feel like you're just like, I'm here to share Spirit's message.
exactly. The information is
Yeah.
always the star of the show.
Yeah.
I'm just a vessel in which they find it easier to blend and communicate and share their message through either myself or whoever is connecting with me. So I just feel very humbled, very grateful out of, lots and lots of individuals that they find it comfortable to work through me. I find that privilege and an honor, really. I don't see that I'm better or greater than anybody else by saying that to you. I've always said this from right from the get-go, that these mediumistic abilities that both yourself and we focus our attention on, everybody is capable of doing that. It's just the fact that certain individuals choose to dedicate their life, their time, their energy, their focus upon homing in on that, and just being a little bit better than they were yesterday. And
Yes.
that's all it takes, really, isn't it? To be a little bit better than you were yesterday. And
Yes.
anybody can do what we do. It just takes, I would say, the grace that you have, compassion, respect, and chipping away at it, not throwing in the towel when you're not getting what you want.
Right.
Just keep on going, and trust the connection that you have by listening with your heart, your soul, and the connection that you have with the highest beings.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. I think that that's a piece a lot of people miss when they start seeing stars in their eyes, you know?
Mm. Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think the reason that you and I connect so well is, first of all, we are star family somewhere along the line. There's no doubt
Oh,
about that.
without question. Yeah.
Yeah. But also because I don't feel like either one of us is willing to push anyone else out of the way to get to where we want to be because there's no need for it.
Not at all. As the great saying says, teamwork makes the dream work. So,
Yeah,
we're all connected as a
we
species
are.
as well, and everything benefits one another. There's always something to learn, embrace, and grow. Even if you
Right.
can't see it in that moment, it will add up and it will maybe make sense to you whilst you're living. If it doesn't, then hang on, because you're in for a massive education when you move over and you
Yes.
see all the dots joining up.
Yep.
That's why I had to go through that. So, yeah, all adds
Exactly.
up.
Exactly. So I don't know about you, I have been coming into several people recently who are just starting on their journey as far as I've never been psychic before, but now I'm seeing, now I'm hearing, now I'm feeling what is going on here. I mean, I know that you teach classes about psychic development. I do
Yeah.
too. But just as general guidance, how would you advise people to kind of move forward when they're right at the beginning and they're
Okay.
getting information they don't know what to do with? How would you guide people?
Well, I would say, based upon my own experiences, it's very exciting. It's phenomenal. It's like Pandora's box has been opened, and you're like,
Yes.
yay, a new world. Somebody's took the rose tinted glasses off. First of all, I would say at that point in time, keep it to yourself. You'll save yourself a lot of worry, a lot of ridicule and jibes. Because the minute you hear those ridicule and jibes, your vibration will lower and your journey will stay at that level. So, for the first part of it, keep it to yourself. Second part of it, ground and anchor your energy because it will seem like you're being bombarded with information from all aspects wherever you happen to go. So, grounding, being present, connecting with nature, and also I would recommend definitely learn about the chakra system. That is paramount for closing down and opening up. This is like
Yes.
an invitation to let spirit know, yes, you can come and talk to me. I'm available for work. Obviously, spirit around us every single minute, every single day.
Hmm.
But this is just, it gives them the go ahead to step forward closer and work with you. They know at that point when you open and close the chakras that they're to leave you alone slightly, not to overwhelm you with this information. And
Hmm.
I found that this was an amazing tool that was shared with me right at the beginning because I was losing sleep. I was often seen laughing to myself. Obviously, I was having a communication with spirit and they were telling me some jokes. It must have looked bizarre. So doing that, it
Yes.
allowed me to be present in my day-to-day duties, my life there. And also, I would recommend, if you can, a lot of people are intimidated by this word, meditation. If you can, choose to set aside at least 20 minutes. 20 minutes, that's all Spirit are asking. In the beginning, anyway, for at least once a week, and make that part of your weekly ritual. No matter what, no excuses. At that time, on whatever date you choose, that is your time with Spirit. They will honor that, they will appreciate that, and they will help with your development and unfoldment. And they will make it more, I would say, less intimidating for you.
Okay.
They will bring in the guidance, the healing, so that you can unfold naturally at the pace that your higher self and you have agreed to work with them at. So, definitely. And like I say, keep that ritual going at least once a week, and you'll notice in a very short space of time that your abilities will be enhanced. And this is where I would recommend that everybody has a journal, a development diary. So every day you check in with yourself, you observe yourself, and you'll write in the date, you'll write in what you experience with your heightened sensitivity, and turn the page. The next day you do the same and review that at the end of the week. And when you look back at it, you think, wow, did I experience all of that? That alone gives you confidence in that you're not crazy. It
Yeah.
would also help you to understand what is happening, to track your action, because the following week, when you look back at the previous week, you'll be like, wow, but I was only doing that last week. And now I moved to this stage because it can happen really quickly, as we know. So,
Right.
those are the key sort of bits of advice I would advise people to consider if they are feeling hypersensitive and they are going down this journey. What
Yeah.
about yourself, Christina?
That's all really good.
What would
Yeah.
be your advice?
When you were talking about learning the chakra system and opening and
Mm-hmm.
closing the chakra system, and um, I don't know about you, I can no longer close down my chakra system completely. I can get it down, a percentage, but I can't get it closed completely. That I just feel like I'm suffocating if I try to do that. But it's kind of the on-off switch, right? So,
Yes, yeah, it just gives them
if
permission to come in.
right,
Yeah.
right. What I would add to what you said was that when you start opening up, when you start, it's not just about receiving and sharing messages. It is about that is when all of your shadows are exposed.
Oh, yes.
That is when the hard work begins. The work where you have to look at you on the inside and look at the past and go, ooh, I am not that person anymore. Thank you, universe. Thank you,
Mm,
spirit guides. Thank you, whatever it is you believe in. Thank you, because it really does force you to look at your shadows, to look at, maybe some old behaviors that you're not comfortable with, to make peace with some past relationships, to make peace with yourself and the relationship that you have with yourself. It's when the door opens, it opens to everything, not just to abilities, but the most effective and best spiritual advisors, psychic mediums that I know are the ones who are doing that inner work, who are willing to look at everything about themselves and who are willing to make some changes within themselves, because and I'm sure that you have run into people like this too. Like, yeah, I'm the psychic medium, but it's almost like they memorize a spiel and say the same thing every time because I haven't done the inner work. It still feels like it's coming from spirit, but it is going through their filters. So, when we have clogged filters, we're not as clear as we think we are. And so, going through the shadows, clearing out those filters, sometimes it's a hard thing to do, because sometimes it goes back to even early childhood things, like things that you heard as a child that maybe even didn't happen to you, but you heard something and it created a belief system that you kept building on over the years. And then you find out that belief system is not valid for you. It might have been valid for the person who said it, but it may not be valid for you, and having to go through and sort through all of that stuff, that's a process. And I feel
Yeah.
like when people jump right in and they're like, oh, I'm getting messages, I must be spiritual. Well, being spiritual and being emotionally healthy where they're connected, they are not the same thing. So
That
I,
makes perfect sense. Yeah,
yeah,
it's almost like a bereavement, a grieving for the former
yes,
self, isn't it?
yeah,
You've got to nurture yourself through that process.
right. Many former selves, because
Exactly. Yeah.
as we're growing and we're moving forward in our development, there are funerals for all those former selves. you know? And sometimes you just need to take the time to honor that and to look back and go, thank you for getting me where I am, but that no longer works with where I am. And saying goodbye to that part of yourself. And that is a process that it can take time, but it does take effort. It does take concerted self-honesty. And that can be a trip up for some people who are struggling with trauma or struggling with, recovery from maybe addiction or abusive relationships. And that can be as the abused or the abuser, which I think I would assume coming to terms with having been an abuser is probably harder
Yeah,
than coming to terms with having been a victim. You know what I mean? I mean, that's got to be a rough road. I, I,
definitely. Mm,
so really getting honest with yourself about who you are, who you were, and who you want to be, and then behaving accordingly with who you want to be is all part of really becoming a good psychic, part of becoming a clear channel for spirit. Because otherwise, if we, and I think we all still have clogged filters, right? We all still have something we haven't
we're
dealt
all
with.
learning, aren't we?
We're
Yeah.
all learning, we're all
Mm,
moving forward. But, it's being aware that that process exists and then choosing to participate in it, I think is paramount to spiritual growth and to being as clear as you can be moving forward. So that's what I
Beautifully
would
put.
add.
Wow, beautifully put. Yeah. And yeah, a lot of not complaining or judging anybody, but there is this assumption that mediums just turn up and they're ready for business and away they go.
Right.
It's not aware to, the general population that what you were describing there, most of those individuals will have to have gone through some form of their own personal hell to
Mm-hmm.
get to sit at that position there and deliver and
Absolutely.
empathize and heal whilst they're delivering there in order to do that. And some of those things aren't things that you can learn at school or
Right.
online or, get certificates for. That's not going to give you that experience and that sort of caliber of connection, is it? It's doing the work, small steps each day,
Mm-hmm.
moving forward.
Yeah. And self-honesty can be a lot harder than most people think it might be.
Oh, definitely.
That look in the mirror sometimes, oof, that can be rough. Yeah.
Exactly. I look there and I think, is my nose that big? Really? Doesn't look that big on a photo. It's the body speak. The body speak.
I have the bloom beak, so I get it.
Oh, yes. It's a beauty, that is.
Yeah.
You've raised it well.
Yes. And fortunately I have the mini version, but it's the same shape. Glenn, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for coming on and being willing to show us who you are.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you.
you for this wonderful opportunity. And I can't believe how many times I've blushed throughout the course of this show. But thank you for really sharing those beautiful, treasured observations of myself. You've really sort of awoken me to a version of myself I didn't realize I existed. Obviously, I just go about my day to day business doing things and I don't see what other people see. So, thank you for igniting that flame within
Oh,
me
you're
today.
very welcome.
Really
You're
appreciate that.
very welcome. I'm grateful that you can see it.
I can now after your
Yeah.
guidance and help.
All
Thank
right.
you.
One more time. What's your website?
My website is, or the W's, www.glenn, and it's spelled with two N's, so GLENN, Boddice, BODDICE, and then you may have spiritualmedium.com. So it's Glenn Boddice, www.glennboddicespiritualmedium.com. That's the
Excellent.
quick version.
Excellent. And that's how people can make appointments with you?
They can book in, check my scheduling, book in directly with me there. They can also, if they're wanting to join the online development classes, they can book themselves directly into the class there as well. If they're just curious and they want some help, then obviously I'm always happy to reach out to people and help them in some way, shape, or form, even if they don't want to book in with any of the services. That's not what it's about for me. It's all about being a service, being that vessel and helping and guiding people. So if it doesn't fit into any of those services categories, please do get in touch and I will get back in touch with you.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been an honor having you on the show today and moving forward for our new audience members. Glenn does join me about once a month, when we can coordinate schedules, and we co-host the show together with different topics. But today I just wanted to really make sure people got to know you. So thank you for coming and sharing yourself.
Thank you,
And
Kristina. You've been an absolute diamond, a beautiful soul.
thank you.
And can I suggest whoever's watching this that needs some insight, some information, some healing, they go and contact this beautiful lady here. She will set you right and she'll put you back on track.
Oh,
And how can
thank
people
you.
do that?
Thank you. See, you put me on the spot.
Oh,
We're
yes.
going to go with the www.kristinabloom.com. Kristina with a K, Bloom with two O's. And you can request an appointment. I have a little bit different system than Glenn does, but you can request an appointment, which will send me an email, and then I will confirm or reschedule your appointment as needed. But you can do that. I also have a list of the classes that I teach on my website. You can go check those out. Um, and I'm just going to throw this out there because it's kind of a big ticket item. I have a retreat coming up in November, weekend of November 20th, and it is celebrating 5D and learning to, or maybe just acknowledging that moving into the fifth dimension, we're always talking about how difficult the shifting is and how disorienting it is and all of that. But my friend Linda Ledbetter and I are putting on this retreat, and it's to help you celebrate moving into a higher frequency and a higher dimension on planet Earth. So that is available. I know it's on my website calendar, and it is also all over my social media. So people can just click the registration link, and there are 3 options for payment. So people can do that. I just wanted to toss that out there because it's a pretty big
Wow.
ticket. It's $777, but it is all inclusive except getting yourself there. You have to get yourself there, but once you get yourself there, we've got you covered with lodging, food, programs, rituals, celebrations, all of it. And it is a week before the Thanksgiving holiday in the United States. So we're actually going to be having a Thanksgiving celebration, a gratitude celebration during that. So it'll be good.
That sounds incredible.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
That does. Excellent.
We need to get you a lottery win so you can come to my retreat.
Well, you say that joking, but I actually
No.
won the other day.
Awesome.
Not
Not the
vast amounts of
jackpot.
money, not the jackpot, but it was a token gesture to say that I am on a new timeline and I'm
Excellent.
manifesting. So who knows? Watch this space.
Wonderful. I will pick you up at any airport you want to land in.
Iceland.
Uh, okay, in the United States, preferably the Midwest United States.
Okay, right, okay. Glad you clarified that.
Yeah. Again, thank you so much for being on the show, and I look forward to the next time that we get to
Me
be
too.
together.
Thank you, Kristina. God bless you.
Bless you too. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed this episode, and I'll catch you next time on ParaMystic Podcast.